Happy Monday. Going on live a second early just to make sure that Facebook is on my side. Okay, I am live. Nice to see you guys. I am excited. You know, summer is a different schedule around here, and so I'm excited to be going live at my usual time, Monday morning, my Monday morning style sessions. I will be doing these every week with the exception of the week of July 17th when I will be taking off. So definitely mark your calendars for Monday morning at 9. We're going to have some really good style chat. I'll be talking about the topic of the week, and this week we are talking about closets. So I'm talking about closets both in my private Facebook group, the Net Manly Style VIP Facebook group, and I'll talking about closets on YouTube as well. And the reason closets are so important is because your closet is the source of your style. It's where your style begins. It doesn't begin in the store, it doesn't begin on your Pinterest board, it doesn't begin in your imagination. It begins in your closet. And if your closet is unmanageable, your style will feel out of control, or it will feel like it is not authentic. It's not really a reflection of who you are. So we're going to talk about 3 closet conundrums, 3 types of closets that I see all the time, and maybe help you identify where you're getting stuck in your closet and in your style. Okay, I would like to remind you that starting next week, next Monday, July 3rd, there is a brand new reverse closet edit and wardrobe building bootcamp. There is a link in the comments. So I would definitely recommend joining that if you're really struggling with your closet. Hi, Gina. Nice to see you. If you're struggling with your closet, I would definitely recommend joining the bootcamp. It's going to be the last one until the end of the summer. So if you want to get on top of this season's wardrobe, highly recommend it. It's really been a game-changing process for the women who've gone through it, and I would encourage you to get support around the closet edit, because I know it's daunting, and I know we all want to take everything out of our closets, and then we get overwhelmed, and then we make ourselves a cup of tea or a glass of wine and we give up, right? Like that's what happens to a lot of people when they go through closets. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is there's a number that I heard on a decluttering channel. I don't remember where, but it was that the average American woman has 103 items in her closet. 103 items. I think that is actually a small number for the clients and the closets that I've looked at where they have a lot. I feel like if you have a lot of clothes in your closet, 103 is going to be a really small number for you. I want to know, let me know in the comments if 103 sounds like a good number to you, or if it's too small, or if it's too many. Okay, so, but the amount of clothes that you have in your closet is relative. It's relative to you. I was listening to, it's a really good YouTube video, I'll have to share the link, but it's Mel Robbins interviewing a clutter expert, and she said that everybody has a different clutter threshold, and by clutter threshold she means the amount of items that you can effectively manage in your life. I have a low clutter threshold. If I have too much stuff going around, and I like a lot of stuff, there's a conflict there, but if I have too much stuff floating around, I get overwhelmed, my life gets cluttered, and things get messy because I cannot manage a lot of stuff. I don't have the personality, it's just not in me to manage a ton of stuff. Now, there are other people who can have way more than I have, and they manage it really well, and their spaces always end up looking neat and organized. So what's your clutter threshold? That can really point you to how maximalist or minimalist you want to be in your wardrobe and in your style, because that is a relative, your maximalist and minimalist approach to your wardrobe is relative to everyone. You might consider your wardrobe minimalist, and someone else might say, oh my gosh, you have way too many things. That is way too overwhelming for me. So it's relative to how you feel about the number of items you have. Do you think you have too many? Do you think you have too little? Do you consider yourself a minimalist and your wardrobe reflects that? Or do you consider yourself a maximalist and your wardrobe reflects that? Again, it's a number, and it's a mindset that only applies to you. It's relative only to you. It really doesn't matter whether anyone else thinks you're a minimalist or a maximalist. So you have to decide for yourself, what do I want to be when it comes to my closet, and does my closet reflect that? Okay, at either extreme, you can have nothing to wear. At either extreme, you can have nothing to wear. If you have too many clothes in your closet, or you have too few clothes in your closet, you're still going to find yourself stuck in nothing to wearville, right? Which is the worst place to be. It's the worst place to be. It's that classic overused, my closet is so full and I have nothing to wear. It's frustrating. And so Another question I would encourage you to ask yourself before I dive into the 3 types of closets I'm talking about today is, are your closet values public or are they personal? In other words, do you dress for yourself or do you dress for others? This is not always as obvious as it seems, and I want you to really think about why you shop, why the clothes that are in your closet have made their way into your closet. Why have you bought those items? When you get dressed every day, what are you thinking about? Are you thinking about, oh, I hope I run into lots of people in this cute outfit? Or are you thinking of, this is what I really feel like wearing today? Neither is wrong. Neither is wrong. It's just a matter of understanding yourself. It's not wrong any more than being a maximalist or a minimalist is wrong. You want to understand yourself because you want to start seeing your buying and your closet patterns more clearly so that you can manage your closet better. Okay, so let's dive into the 3 types of closet conundrums. These are the broad categories of closet problems that I see in my closet edits. I just did a couple of closet edits last week. This is something we're talking about in this round. We're currently in week 2 of another reverse closet edit boot camp, and just seeing the challenges that the women in the boot camp are going through. This is, these are categories that just come up again and again. So the first category is you have too few things. You have too little in your closet. Now, this doesn't happen that often when I'm asked to do a closet edit, because usually people want their closets edited because they have way too much going on. But I have done closet edits where I'm like, I'm going to have a hard time making outfits with what you have because you don't have enough of the right types of items to make outfits. And you have very little here that we can effectively declutter. So you want to ask yourself, if you feel like you don't have options you don't have outfits, you don't have pieces to wear to the places you want to go to for your everyday life. If you do not have clothes that work for your everyday life, you have too few clothes, even if your closet looks full. We're going to get to that in a minute. But if you don't have the clothes for the things that you do and the places that you go to, you have too little. Let me know in the comments if you're a too little person, if you've got too few items in your closet. According to you, you have too few items in your closet. This doesn't mean that you're a minimalist. It's not too few by choice. It's too few because for whatever reason, you don't have the items in your closet that you feel like you need. Okay. You often find yourself unprepared when an occasion arises. Something comes up and you do not have the clothes for it, whether it's something simple like a girls' night out or church, or whether it's something a little bit more of an event like a wedding or whatever fun and festive events come up, Christmas or a cocktail party. Like, do you feel like you never have what you need to wear to any of the invitations or any of the special things that come up in your life? That may be a sign that you have too few items of clothing. Maybe you're not wearing all the clothes that you have. Maybe you're looking at a wardrobe that doesn't have a lot in it, and you're still not wearing the things that you have for whatever reason. You're not wearing the clothes that you have. You have too few things in your closet, and you're wearing even fewer. And what if maybe you're in a situation where you've been wearing the same limited wardrobe? Maybe you're going through a size transition. Maybe you're going through a lifestyle transition. Maybe you just hate to shop. And you've been wearing the same limited wardrobe on repeat. And things are looking tired. They're looking worn. They're looking old. This can be a confidence killer, because if we're going out in clothes that just feel grungy to us, we're going to feel deflated, and we're going to probably be less likely to accept invitations, less likely to go places, less likely to do things, because we are not happy with what we have to wear, and it feels like it's a lot to get there. So it's a lot of work to accept an invitation to a cocktail party, and then when you know you don't have the clothes to wear to the cocktail party, right? You're like, okay, now I've got to go find the thing, and it's just way too much work, and I'm just going to say no. Marianne said, I have too many clothes. I'm a too many person, and I don't wear them all. You are not alone. We're going to get to that next. That's the next category. Do you have too many do you have too much? Do you have too many clothes? Now, how do you know if you have too many things in your closet? You are overwhelmed and you constantly feel like you need to reorganize your closet. You're always organizing, you're always putting things away, you're always decluttering, you're always overwhelmed. This is a sign that you can have too much in life, and it's definitely a sign that you can have too much in your wardrobe. You only wear a fraction of the clothes. This is you, Marianne. You only wear a fraction of clothes that you have, and you can never find what it is you're looking for. Either you can't find it because it's physically hard to find everything in your closet because it's so cluttered or it's so full, or you can't find it because it's not there. You have a ton of clothes, but you don't always have the right things. You are holding on to clothes that you do not wear any longer for various reasons. Maybe you're thinking, I might get back to that size, or I might get back to that job, or I might get back to that town where I had the occasions to wear those things, but you're holding on to clothes that you no longer wear. Again, way too much, way too overwhelming. Once again, I'm going to remind you, too much, too many, that's relative. That depends on how you feel about the amount of clothes that you have. Most of the items in your closet no longer work for you. We kind of touched on that. You have a lot of stuff and you're not wearing a lot of that stuff. You're holding on to things you don't wear for various reasons. You have lots of duplicates. You're like, well, I wear t-shirts a lot, so I'm going to have 30 t-shirts, but you really only wear 5 of them. Recognize when you're always going to reach for your favorite in a category, and if you have multiples in that category, those other items are just not going to get worn, right? If you've got a favorite black blouse, you're going to always reach for that favorite black blouse if it's clean, and you're not going to wear the 9 others that might be hanging there. If it takes you a long time to get ready, because it's hard to sift through everything you have and to go through all of the clothes that you have, and it's just daunting, that may be a sign that you have too many clothes. If you feel like you're constantly sorting, organizing, folding, caring for, maintaining your wardrobe, that may be a sign that you have too many clothes. If you have piles of clothes everywhere on the chair, on the couch, on the workout machine in your room, you have piles of clothes everywhere, that may be a sign that you have too many items in your wardrobe. If your closet is crammed, and there's no breathing room between clothes, like you can't even move the hangers because they're so tightly crammed together, that might be a sign that you have too many clothes. I would say that is definitely a sign that you have too many clothes for your space, at least. And you may want to consider just keeping the clothes for this season in your closet. I say this all the time. The clothes in your closet should be clothes that fit you right now and fit this season, your season of life, and the climate, the season that you're in. Because it's really overwhelming to have to sift through cocktail dresses and winter coats in July, right? No one wants to do that. Okay, the third type of closet conundrum. We covered too little, we covered too much. It's having the wrong items in your closet. Now, you can have too little and have the wrong items. You can have too much and have the wrong items. But you may have the perfect number of clothes for you. You may be managing your wardrobe well. You may not feel like it's cluttered. You may not feel like it's empty. But you may look in your wardrobe and recognize that you do not have the right clothes for your life. Now, this could be for a variety of reasons. Either you're holding on to multiple sizes, and maybe you've gone through a size transition, and you look in your closet, and anyone would look at it and be like, "That's a lovely closet," but nothing fits you. So it's you've got the wrong items in your closet for you. What if you have a ton of clothes for a previous lifestyle, a previous job? Like maybe you have a lot of suits or a lot of professional clothing in your wardrobe, and you don't work that way anymore. You work from home, or you're retired, or you've got a different job, and so you're looking at a wardrobe of beautiful clothes that no longer reflect or serve your lifestyle. Big problem. I see it over and over and over again. What if you have a lot of clothes for the wrong season? I did a closet edit here in Central Florida for a woman who had more sweaters, coats, and boots than any woman in Maine or New England or any other cooler place could possibly need. And she lived in a really, really hot climate. Boots, jackets, sweaters, like galore. She clearly was shopping for the wrong climate. So ask yourself, do the clothes that you have reflect where you live, what you do, and what your current size is? Finally, then there are more less specific ways to look at why you may have the wrong clothes. Like, are they the wrong style for you? Are they the wrong style for you? Are they clothes that you bought that you used to love and you just don't love them anymore? There is nothing wrong with admitting that your style has changed. We change, trends change, styles evolve, and there's nothing wrong with saying, you know, I used to love that and I just don't love it anymore. Someone else will, so you can pass it on to the person who will, consign it, donate it, sell it, whatever you want to do. But don't hang on to things that you used to love just because you used to love them. You want to honor your style and your lifestyle where it is right now. And then finally, you've got the wrong clothes because you don't love anything in your closet. You just don't love anything in your closet. You don't enjoy any of the clothes that you have. You're not excited to wear anything in your closet. And sometimes that's an accurate assessment because you're really looking at a closet that no longer serves you and you really truly don't love anything in your closet. Other times, the reason we feel like we don't love anything in our closets is because we can't see the few things, the gems, because there's so much junk in there. There's so much junk in there that the few things that we would genuinely be excited about wearing, that we could genuinely get some use out of in our lives, are not visible to us. They're not easily accessible. We have to dig for them, and who wants to go through that struggle every single morning? So I want to know what your challenges are when it comes to your closet. Is it that you have the wrong stuff? Is it that you have too much stuff? Or is it that you have too little stuff? Let me know in the comments. I am going to be talking about closets. I'm going to be sharing some of my favorite closet tools and resources all week long in the private Facebook group. If you're not in that Facebook group, I highly recommend that you join. And check out my YouTube videos Tuesday and Friday. Tomorrow I am talking about the 6 different types of closet personalities and the shopping personalities, and how those can contribute to your closet conundrums. And then on Friday, I'm talking about what to do if you feel like you have a closet full of compromises. So thank you so much for joining me today. I'm so happy to be back with the Monday morning style sessions. Looking forward to hearing from you guys and hearing what your challenges are when it comes to closets. Love you guys. I'll see you in the next one.